Dynamic systems theory and how it applies to education. First, we must establish what is meant by dynamic systems. A system is two or more objects or components in our universe and how they relate to each other. Examples of systems include the solar system, consisting of our sun and other planets, or a family made up of children and the adult or adults who care for them. Systems are classified as dynamic when the components within the system affect or change each other over time. What are some other examples of dynamic systems? The human brain is one of the most complex and fascinating dynamic systems on the planet. Over the course of development, the human brain grows and changes. It is comprised of many neural networks that govern multiple functions from heart rate and breathing to thought processes, emotions, and decision making. Of course, a human being does not exist in a vacuum. Each of us, as whole persons, is constantly interacting with various environments, each of which shapes and influences our behavior. Thus, each of our students is part of larger dynamic systems, while they themselves are growing and changing. Dynamic systems theory, as it pertains to education and development, acknowledges that the various characteristics of an individual and their environment interact in order to produce one's behavior. Secondarily, observations of one's varying behavior and performance from one context to another informs us about their development. It is common for people to act and perform differently in different environments. One example is of the 10th grade student who has difficulty connecting with peers in person, but has built an active social life online through regular blogging and creating friendships through World of Warcraft. This variability tells us about the individual. Another example is the 4th grader who can recite multiplication tables at home perfectly, but cannot perform the same task at school. The student either has the skill or does not, depending on context. By understanding that our students have varied capabilities, we, as educators, may consider differentiating our teaching methods, using multiple forms of assessment, and having greater openness to collaboration with teachers and other parents. In this way, we are more able to assess a student's true mastery of a skill or concept. Our methods must strive to be as dynamic as our students. By approaching our educational practices with dynamic systems theory in mind, we can better recognize patterns of behavior in our students and develop the most effective ways to teach each of them.